And Richard Southern joins us now with a look at the day's top business stories. And Richard, it's the season of giving, but it appears it's not exactly what the Pope is doing.
Quite the story in the Wall Street Journal, Melissa, regarding the Catholic Church and potentially a financial issue that it's having. The Journal says that the Vatican is using donations intended to the poor to plug its budget deficit. The paper says only 10% of donations to the Pope's main charitable fund go to the poor, only 10%. The Journal says the church doesn't advertise that most of what's collected, which is typically more than $55 million annually, goes towards servicing the Vatican's administrative budget. The Vatican also in the middle of a bit of a real estate issue in London, England, which has led to the dismissal of its financial regulator. And the Journal says as well it's dealing with a growing budget deficit. So some dollars and cents troubles there in the Catholic Church, perhaps, Melissa.
And you might not know where your charity dollars are going, but MPPs want you to know your tax dollars won't be going towards this.
Yeah, so it's that time of year when some workers are getting a raise or maybe a bonus, but that's not the case for Premier Ford or MPPs of Queen's Park as they take off for their 2-month Christmas break. It also marks the 10th anniversary of a pay freeze, which was put in place by Premier Dalton McGuinty. Now, MPPs, they earn $116,000 a year. Ministers make $165K. And Mr. Premier Ford makes $208,000, and that's been the case again for 10 years. The head of the Treasury Board says there will be no raises until the budget is balanced, and we're certainly a long way from that. There's also no pension plan. Mike Harris did away with that, Melissa, some 20 years ago. So many, I'm sure, will be happy to know there's no pay hikes coming this year at Queen's Park.
And Elon Musk hasn't figured out the flying cars just yet, but his plan to keep your windshield free of streaks is certainly from the Jetsons' future, it appears.
Yeah, so Tesla's filed a patent for a futuristic windshield wiper, and it is a laser beam, Melissa. Yes, the electric car company says it envisions a laser beam that would burn the dirt and debris off your windshield instead of wiping it.
Wow.
Yeah, the patent notes the inefficiency of traditional wipers. It also claims this process won't damage the eyes of the driver. Good to know that they're going to make sure the laser doesn't burn your eyeball out. Tesla says it also wants to use the technology to clean the solar panels that its subsidiary company is working on getting on the roofs of houses. So there you go. We might be driving around with laser beams on our windshields before you know it.
You just said laser beams, and literally I just thought back to when I got laser eye surgery, and I got frightened there for like a hot second, just bringing back those memories. But it sounds expensive anyways.
Just like laser eye surgery.
Just like laser eye surgery, certainly. And finally, what's happening at the gas pumps tonight?
We're going up, not quite like a laser beam, but going up 1 cent tonight at the gas pumps. And hold tight, we're back just after 6:30, Melissa, with some interesting stories, including the top mispronounced words of the year. I'm going to try and say some of them just after 6:30.
I'm sure you'll do great. Thanks so much, Richard.
We'll see.
We'll see you
Thanks,
later.
Melissa. Cheers.